Alrighty, so it's actually been quite a long time coming since the COVID stuff started earlier this year, and I started posting just random NASCAR COVID Classic races, and that has literally helped my channel basically implode. I will be continuing that next year because NASCAR finally released the 2021 schedule. Most of the changes, before I begin, you can see, if I go through them quickly, there's some big changes. I will make it feel like an actual race weekend. Full practice. However, I couldn't find practice and qualifying for all events. So some are just going to be straight races. So I might even show like ARCA, IndyCar, and a little surprise for later. So every change as of the real NASCAR Cup schedule will be reflected here to the best of my ability, obviously. Circuit of the Americas, I couldn't find a major touring series full race there. So you'll get just the regular Texas Motor Speedway that week. And also, you may notice the dates are out of order because when I first made this document, I modeled the layout just like the original 2020 schedule before coronavirus hit. So anyways, let's begin. So Speed Weeks begins with Sunday night ARCA at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, where we relive Danica Patrick's first ever start in a stock car. Sunday, February 7th. And then we go to Monday Night NASCAR with the Budweiser Shootout at 9 o'clock Eastern. And then here, I've even sprinkled in several practice sessions. So you get the 2004 Daytona 500, which I found a better rip of that race. So you'll get qualifying, the 2 practice sessions for that weekend. I also grabbed the first ever NASCAR on ESPN broadcast since November of 2002 with the 2007 Orbitz 300 with the great Brent Musburger. And then obviously the weekend has the Gatorade 125s. There's on a Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday afternoon, and then Friday night truck racing at 8 o'clock Eastern, the Daytona 300 at noon, and then the Daytona 500 at noon Eastern. One thing you'll also notice is that start times for these races are all early in the afternoon. So Vegas, I couldn't get any qualifying sessions for any of those races. Well, the first one. So you get 3 races there. All of them are fairly notable. The one on Friday was the first race at the new configuration of Las Vegas with the higher banking in the turns. And the race on Saturday, it is Jeff Gordon's only win at Las Vegas. California, we have our first IndyCar race of the list with the 2013 MAV TV 500 on Wednesday night. Then truck racing on Thursday, Auto Club Friday night, and then same day NASCAR qualifying and race, just like how they tried in real life, which is what they should be trying, but they don't. But that's neither here nor there. Obviously, the Auto Club 500 from 2004 will be that Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern, qualifying, and then the race at 3 o'clock. Okay. And then Atlanta, you get these second of 3 ARCA races, I believe. followed by a truck race Thursday night. The qualifying for the Atlanta 300, and then on Friday, the race at 2 o'clock Eastern. That seems normal there. Obviously, I did get a couple races with commercial rips in them. The Homestead weekend is race 2 in real life and will be reflected as such with the 2001 Pennzoil Freedom 400 at noon Eastern with commercials. You obviously see here what I did talk about was so you got the 2011 WinStar World Casino 400 Friday night at 8. The O'Reilly 300 Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern, followed by the Texas IndyCar race Saturday night, and the 2001 Texas 500 at noon. Here's the big one, the first big change. Obviously, reflecting with the real Spring Bristol race being run on dirt, I have found a World of Outlaws race. The first night of World of Outlaws from Bristol will be Thursday night, 10:15 Eastern. And then the next night will be Friday night at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday will be qualifying in the 04 Food City 500. And you go through, obviously, also got another doubleheader Friday the 16th of April, one with a really long rain delay, Friday night at 9, then Casey Kane's first win Saturday night at 8:30, and then obviously Talladega, aka Earnhardt Country, with a rather controversial win, many people argued. You could relive that, 12:30 p.m., April 24th. Then Nashville will have 2 races on Friday and 2 races Saturday night, or two things on Friday, 2 things on Saturday. So you got the Busch race from Nashville at 1 o'clock or 1:30 on Friday. The truck race, when they ran Nashville, the 2008 Toyota 200 at 2 o'clock, and then the Honda Indy 200 at 8:30 Eastern. Martinsville on my birthday features probably the first Jeff Gordon win I remember that I have brought back. Race will have qualifying at 2 o'clock the day before, and then the race at 1 o'clock Eastern. So continuing our way down, we head to another change, which is really just a week of racing. The Road America race, the 2011 Bucyrus 200, will be a Monday afternoon race. I didn't fix that, the typo, before I downloaded this. Then you got the Easy Care 100, the race where Blaise Alexander was killed. Then Coca-Cola 600 qualifying Friday night at 8 Eastern. And then final practice Saturday afternoon at 12:30. And then, obviously, the greatest event in racing with a bit of a controversial twist at the finish at 11 o'clock a.m., followed by the Coke 600 at 5:30 or at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So going through the list, let's see, Kansas, Brad Keselowski's second ever win, Sunday at noon. Darlington getting a second race. See the schedule there highlighted on the screen. Obviously, Tony Stewart had a pretty scary crash in this race, so that race will be highlighted. Then Dover, which kept the spring race. I thought they were losing the fall race. So truck racing Thursday night, 4 o'clock, or Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern. The spring Dover Busch race at 1:30 Eastern that Friday, and the 2010 FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks, 1 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. So, again, the middle of the season is where things will really kind of be a little sketch in terms of when dates are ordered. Again, I didn't organize them like the actual schedule because that would have taken longer. So again, you got, like I said, you got the All-Star race. It's at Texas. You can get the 2002 All-Star race Friday night at 8 Eastern. And then obviously this 2004 Sonoma weekend, same format as California, qualifying early at noon and the race at 3 o'clock Eastern. Road America, since the Cup Series is returning to Road America for the first time since the 50s, you'll get the 2010 Bucyrus 200 at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, aka the only time we saw Cup regulars mess with the Road America field. So the Pocono doubleheader, the rate text in bold will be the same race reused. So the entertainment starts with a bush race out at Pikes Peak, with the qualifying at noon and the race at 3 o'clock, and then so that's supposed to say June 27th, by the way. You got the Pocono 125, the first truck race at Pocono at 8 a.m., followed by Jeff Gordon's only win in the Firestorm DuPont Chevrolet at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern, followed by Pennsylvania 500 qualifying at 4 Eastern. And like I said, the schedule is a little jank. So for Indy, you'll get the last ever Busch race at IRP at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by Tony Stewart living a dream, winning his first race at Indy at 2 o'clock on, I want to say it's a Sunday. So like I said, the other major change with Kentucky losing a date, just be 2 races back to back. The 2008 Easy Go 200 at 3 o'clock Eastern, and the 2009 Pep Boys 500 at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, I'll probably change this between now and when I get to uploading those races. Then Loudon keeps pretty normal. You got the truck race where David Starr and Todd Bodine fought on Thursday afternoon at 3:30. Kyle Busch surpassed Mark Martin in wins that Friday afternoon. You could relive that at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and Ryan Newman's first career win at noon Eastern on Saturday. So, and then the only Michigan date, you'll have the 2007 Firestone Indy 400 with Dario Franchitti doing a backflip in the middle of the race at 1 o'clock Eastern. And then the race where Carl Edwards nearly took Junior's hand off, you can relive that Friday. Or I gotta get a calendar to check these. And then the 2003 GFS Marketplace 400 happy hour, 11 o'clock Eastern, followed by the truck race at 2 o'clock, and then the race where Kurt Busch and Jimmy Spencer got into a fight in the garage post-race. Kind of wish TNT caught that. So then Watkins Glen, 3 events. 2005 Zippo 200, qualifying at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, the race at 2 o'clock Eastern, and follow that by the IndyCar at Watkins Glen at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, following that up with the 2002 Series at the Glen at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, August 7th. So Daytona, consider that, since that is the final regular season race, just like last year. So that will be basically one great big day of racing with the small practice session Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. 2002 Pepsi 400 qualifying, 9 o'clock Eastern. 2004 Winn-Dixie 250 qualifying at noon, followed by a doubleheader of races, the Winn-Dixie 250 at 7 o'clock Eastern, and the 2002 Pepsi 400 at 9 o'clock, which Michael Waltrip won his second Daytona race and actually got to celebrate it, not with the shadow of Dale Sr.'s death in the background. Anyways, playoffs. So the playoffs will start with the 2002 Mountain Dew Southern 500, the only happy hour session at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, the 2001 South Carolina 200 at 3 o'clock, followed by the 2002 Mountain Dew Southern 500 at 2 o'clock Eastern. With that race was Jeff Gordon. Many people thought he'd be come back to form before he had one of his worst weekends of his career, which will be relived yet again in this race at Richmond. So Thursday night, you can see Happy Hour, the Happy Hour session, followed by the 2002 Funai 250 with some absolutely grinding crashes, with including one with Derek Cope and Jack Sprague coming to mind, followed by the 2002 Chevrolet Monte Carlo 400 with the Looney Tunes. The second to last year they did a Looney Tunes NASCAR crossover. And then the final race I will be reusing will be the 2002 Sharpie 500 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Actually, we all know this race. Jeff Gordon fans know this race quite well, and for good reason. The race before on Thursday, you'll get to see Bill Weber try to do a pre-race show, trying to hack up a lung. Anyways, Las Vegas, the second race, will obviously have truck race on Friday night like always. Another doubleheader on Saturday. So, obviously, the 2011 IZOD World Championship from Vegas with the race with Dan Weldon, unfortunately, was killed at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by the 2010 Samstown 300 at 6 o'clock Eastern, followed by more qualifying and racing. So, qualifying for the second ever Las Vegas race at 11 o'clock Eastern AM, followed by the Las Vegas 400 at 3 o'clock, the Battle of the Burtons. And then going to Talladega, the second Talladega race, which will be the final time. There will be an ARCA crossover. So the 2001 ARCA Food World 300 at 12 o'clock Eastern. You get the 2002 EA Sports 500 at 2 o'clock Eastern, October 3rd. So as we look here, you'll get qualifying for the Fall Charlotte Cup race Thursday night, followed by qualifying for the Busch race Friday afternoon, and then happy hour later that evening, and then the SpongeBob 300. So Charlotte did it first, naming a race after a cartoon character. That will be at 9 o'clock Eastern, followed by the 04 UWGM Quality 500 at 9 o'clock Eastern the next day. So Kansas, as most of you probably noticed, as we get into the playoffs, I do plan to start these races much, much later. I did not update these times, these dates, so these will not be in a small 2-day span. They will be with the real Texas weekend. So Saturday afternoon, you get the greatest championship finish in IndyCar history at noon, followed by the 2005 O'Reilly Challenge at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by probably the most boring fuel mileage race you could think of at 4 o'clock Eastern. Getting towards a championship elimination Sunday weekend, you get the 2008 Kroger 200 at 5:30 Eastern, followed by the 2006 Goodies 250 at 5 o'clock Eastern, and then obviously a very tragic race that nobody learned about what happened until the checkered flag fell. You unfortunately will get to relive that with qualifying 1 o'clock Eastern, and then the 2004 Subway 500 at 4:30. And then championship races, some of these you've already seen posted. I was really trying to play it by ear on trying to gauge when the real races will be done, when tracks were going to release their dates, which was, I understand, was kind of hard in the age of COVID. But Thursday night, you get the 2007 Casino Arizona 150. Friday evening, you get the 2007 Arizona Travel 200. And Saturday afternoon, you'll get the penultimate race of what is arguably my favorite championship battle in NASCAR history. So those are all of the races. I have planned and scheduled. Keep in mind, I may shift dates around, or I might swap races out if I see a better one. You just gotta keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled.